Hey guys, Johnny Curbs 2000 here, and welcome to a new episode of Roulette Sunday. Hopefully you guys are able to see and hear this right. This is the second time I had to stop the stream the first time, and I had to go back and restart the stream again. I had to fix a couple of things, including the sound. So last time that I did this Roulette Sunday, I went back and I looked at the footage, and my voice was really loud. Obnoxiously so. So hopefully you guys are able to hear my voice okay. Hopefully it's not too loud. You guys are still able to hear some of the game footage. But anyway, welcome to a new episode of Roulette Sunday. Today we're taking a look at Fantastic Four for the PlayStation 1. And this game oftentimes gets a bad rep. Often, you know, it often ends up being in a lot of lists for some of the, one of the worst superhero games of all time, and one of the worst PlayStation. Well, I don't think it's one of the worst PlayStation 1 games. It just gets a lot of bad rep in general, and quite frankly, my personal opinion on this game is that it's definitely not perfect, as you'll soon see. It's by no means an awesome, great, overlooked gem. I'm not going to go that far, but I think it's still pretty fun, and it has some pretty unique things to it that makes it stand out. By the way, I really love this press start screen right here. I really love the style of it. And one of the interesting things here is during the loading screens, you can play a little game right here. Pew, 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 pew. I am the yellow one, as is evident because I suck. And you can play this little mini game. Ooh, I crashed. Anyway, press start. Let's not go on any further than this. So anyway, here we go. This is Fantastic Four for the PlayStation 1. It's a sort of 3D beat 'em up. It still still plays on a 2D, so it's 2D, but the graphics are 3D. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, if you go over here to the options menu, you can select the difficulty. We'll keep it at normal. Sound effect volume, music volume. The lives we'll leave at 3. Continues, we'll go ahead and put it up to 5. And this is an interesting thing here. You can actually set drones. Now, drones actually serve the purpose of filling out your team if you're playing by yourself. So we're actually going to turn that on, because I think that's the best way to play this game is with in multiplayer. But unfortunately, because I am by myself right now, I don't have my friends with me, so I'll set on the drones. Play mode, you can play cooperatively or versus. I think that just means, I haven't tested this out, but I think it just means that you're able to hit people. I'm not sure. And then training, I don't exactly know what it is, but if you press L1, L2, R1, R2 at the same time while highlighting training, bam, you got yourself some new options here. You can turn on the invincibility, you can turn on level skip, you can turn on big boy, which is I think it makes you bigger or smaller, I think. And then free play, I think it means we're actually going to turn that on. I think it actually just means that you don't have to use up continues, but we'll see. And then, of course, the controls are really the thing that I think a lot of people got turned off about. It's pretty standard on the left side. You have 2 attack buttons. You can press the square button to attack once, the triangle button to do a different attack. The circle, strangely enough, is a block, so you can block certain moves. And then the X button, of course, is jump. The thing that gets a little bit wonky is with the throws. As you guys see over there on the right, you can R1, L2, L1 are throws, and the CD skipping for some reason. Hopefully that will be fine. But there's 3 different throws mapped out to 3 different buttons, which can get a little bit hectic and can get a little bit zany, especially because there are certain bosses where you have to beat them using throws, and it can be kind of difficult to kind of, I guess, get used to having so many different options as far as throw it. And R2 is your special, which I will explain as we move along. But anyway, enough talk. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So here's where you can select your playable character. Obviously, you have Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, you have the Human Torch, you have the Thing, and then finally you have an extra character in the She-Hulk. For those of you who don't know, She-Hulk was actually a member of the Fantastic Four. She became a member of the Fantastic Four, and when the Thing left, he left himself behind on the Battle World at the end of the Secret Wars, which was a limited series special event sort of thing. So we're gonna pick Mr. Fantastic. It's pretty cool. And right now I'm picking out the drones. So I'm gonna click the thing, and then it's gonna be hard between the Invisible Woman and She-Hulk, but I think I'm gonna choose the She-Hulk because I don't think she gets enough love. So that's our team. I'm gonna be playing as Human Torch, and the drones, the CPU is gonna be playing as Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, and the She-Hulk. So that's pretty awesome. And like I said, guys, this game it gets a bad rep a lot of times. It doesn't, you know. I don't know, like it's by no means a perfect game. I'm not saying that, and I'm still stuck in the corner here. Pew, 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 pew. It's by no means a perfect game, but it's still I still think it's a lot of fun. And the cool thing about this game is you know, obviously being a beat 'em up, the most fun that you'll get is through multiplayer. And amazingly enough, this does allow for up to 4-player cooperative play, which is the best way that I think you can play this game, is if you have the PlayStation 1 multi-tap. But as you guys can see, this game is in 3D. You still play, you know, from a 2D perspective though. I'm playing as the Human Torch, and the CPU is playing as all the other Fantastic Four characters here. So it's pretty cool. I can't talk. You do have some special abilities. Each character handles differently, which is pretty cool because it has a bit of replayability in that, you know, you can pick and choose which character you want to play as, and each time that you play, it's you know, slightly different depending on what character you use. And it's not just a Fantastic Four. It is, you know, the She-Hulk, as you guys can see there. She's pretty freaking huge. Oh my god, car. And it's pretty awesome, you know, like I said, this game is, I think it's pretty awesome. I like it. It's definitely one of those games that I like to whip out every now and then, especially when I have friends over. We want to play a good beat 'em up game, and, you know, like I said, this game is not perfect. It's not, you know, ideal. It's definitely no Final Fight. It's definitely no Streets of Rage. But you know what? For a PlayStation 1 game to come out at this time, especially a game based off of the Fantastic Four, I think it does a good enough job. It definitely could have been a lot better. The controls definitely take some getting used to. The animation is pretty wonky. It's pretty, you know, the graphics aren't the best, definitely. But I don't know. I think it gets the job done, especially when you're playing with your friends. So far you've probably been noticing that it's a pretty standard beat 'em up. Obviously it's 4-player arcade style. You have your life meter. Your life meter actually is pretty strange. It's signified pretty strangely. You may think that the green meter over there on the top left signifies my life meter, but it actually doesn't. Your life meter is actually represented by the circle. It's a pie chart in a way. So the more damage that you take, your pie chart gets smaller and smaller. Like that on the bottom left there, you can see that the Thing took some damage, so a piece of his pie chart, a piece of his circle, life circle if you will, gets taken out. So you don't have a life meter, you have a life circle, which can take some time to get used to. It may catch you off guard the first time you play this game. You may be wondering, what the heck does all the other stuff mean then, if it's not your life meter? And that the green meter actually is your special meter, your special attack meter, your superpower meter, and that's actually one of the things that makes this game pretty awesome in my opinion. It is a Fantastic Four game. You know, you are playing as superheroes with super incredible superpowers, so why not be able to use them? And you can. The way that this game plays out is that you have the R2 button. If you press and hold the R2 button, each character has a collection of superpowers that they can do. The way that it works is you have to know the combination for the superpower. Now, I mostly play as the Human Torch. Unfortunately, he has 4 superpowers. Like, he has 4 special attacks using his superpowers, like his flame attacks and stuff like that. However, I only know how to use 2 of them. Every character has 4 super attack superpowers that you can use pretty much at any time, except for one. The one actually takes out, uses up 50% of your meter. So I'll show it right now. We're actually going to face off against Dragon Man. Now you get these little bonus areas if you're able to pass through an area without losing a life. It doesn't matter if you took damage. It only matters if you didn't lose a life or not. That's how you get to these secret stages. There are 3 bonus bosses. There's Dragon Man, which I am facing right now. You can face off against the Incredible Hulk, and you can face off against Iceman from the X-Men, which is pretty cool. Nice little cameos. So anyway, this is the attack that uses up 50%, more than 50%, as you guys saw there. My meter went down. That's the only move that can take up, that uses up that meter. Otherwise, the Human Torch and every other character has 3 moves that you can do pretty much at any time using the R2 button in conjunction with a combination of the D-pad. It's sort of like special attacks, like a fighting game almost, but they're not that convoluted. So for example, boom, like right there, I press and hold the R2 button and press down twice, and the Human Torch does that, which is a nice area clearing move. I showed off the other move that's sort of like a screen nuke, but it uses up 50%. At least you have to have at least 50% of your meter full in order to be able to use that. And he does have some other ones, though I don't know how to do them. I looked up online to see how you're able to do some of his other moves, but I can never get them to work out. So I always just stick with that. That's that works with me. That's pretty. I don't know. That's good to me. Like, gets the job done. And see, like the other one, there's another one where he's supposed to throw a fireball, but I can't get it to work. And that wasn't it, by the way. That's just his regular jump attack type of thing. And like I said, each character does have a series, a collection of super moves that they can do. So each one of the 5 characters does something different, which is pretty awesome. Like I said, my favorite ones are Human Torch, She-Hulk, and the Thing. The She-Hulk and the Thing usually are pretty beastly. They can clear out a good chunk of the attackers. Pretty much everybody has that one move, screen nuke type of thing, but theirs tend to be the best. As you guys see from my fight against Dragon Man, Johnny's is a little bit sporadic, but because his is actually where a bunch of Dragon Balls, or Fireballs rather, Dragon Balls, what am I thinking of? Fireballs just rain down from the top, but they actually have to hit the person, so there's a lot of room for to miss. And here we're off against the first sub-boss. All you have to do is knock these rocks to the background, and this is where you start seeing bosses that require the use of the throw attacks, which again there are 4 different kinds mapped out to the L1, L2, R1 buttons. So if you don't know which one to use, then you will be stuck. The first time I ever played this game, I was stuck in this part for like the longest time because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. You can't hit them unless you throw these rocks at them, which you wouldn't know how to use them if you didn't know that, if you didn't know which button did what. Even right now I'm having like a hard time. The hit detection here is pretty whack. Let's see, hopefully he'll send out. There it is. And of course, if every time that he pounds the ground, you can either jump or you can use the block button, which is the circle, which I'm doing right now, to block that shockwave. Of course, every big boss has a shockwave move, and this game is no different. So, but like I said, guys, this game is pretty fun. If you can get a couple buddies to come help you out, or this game does have a distinction of being pretty tough. It does definitely get tough later on if you're playing by yourself. The good thing, again, like I said, is you do have some cheat codes to make it a little bit easier. Now we're facing off against a Hulk, obviously. You do have some cheat codes. There's one cheat code that gives you 100 lives, which I didn't put in. I don't know if it actually works, and I've never gotten it to work. But you do have that that hidden cheat menu that I showed off. Oh god. Let's see if I can beat him up. There we go. Bam. Got him. You do have a cheat menu that can make you invincible. You can skip some of the levels. So this game, even though it is definitely hard, it does get hard later on. I can attest to that, especially if you're playing by yourself. It is definitely hard. but you have enough that you can beat this game. I remember the first time I got this game, I almost beat it the first time that I played through it by myself. Of course, I did use the drones, which makes things a lot easier, and I did have the continue set to 10 like I do right now. But like I said, this game can be a lot of fun if you don't expect much. You know, this is an old school beat 'em up. You know, this game was, I think, outdated. The beat 'em up genre was outdated even by the time that this game came out, which came out in '97, by the way. And you know, I think as long as you just remember this is a beat 'em up, this is old school, this is, you know, it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to get hard. Some of the enemies are going to start getting a lot harder. They'll start, you know, they just won't stand there and take a hit like a lot of other beat 'em ups. They'll actually use tactics and things like that. Some of them are pretty hard, especially when you start getting to some of the levels where you start getting enemies that use guns against you. And believe me, they will use those guns continuously. Like, they'll rapid fire, they'll machine gun you to death, and it can get annoying. But again, there's enough here where, you know, you have the drones. You don't have to go at it by yourself. In fact, I advised against playing this game by yourself. It is a lot easier to play this with friends with the drones on. You know, if you're not playing this with the drones, if you're not playing this with other, you know, with your friends in multiplayer, then you're playing this game the wrong way. By the way, this is Iceman. Iceman is probably the hardest one of all of the three bonus bosses, because he has some of the same moves that the Human Torch has. Like that move, he has a move similar to that, and it can be a little bit hard to escape. Whereas Dragon Man and the Hulk especially, they just have the Hulk just has this one like ground pound move, and as long as you jump up, you're able to bypass it no problem. But Iceman, I remember the first time I faced him off, I got my butt kicked pretty hard, but it's not too hard. One of the things though that I will say, and you probably will start to notice it, especially here starting in this level, is that the drones, even though they're a nice addition, you know, they make it seem like you're not by yourself, you're not playing by yourself, and they definitely help. If anything, just so that they become cannon fodder, meaning that, you know, they make the game easier. Not so much because they're super helpful. They can be, you know, they obviously help beat up the enemies, which is pretty awesome, especially for a game that was made way back in '97. But the most that they'll do is they'll just provide a distraction. So instead of enemies going after you and shooting you and stuff like that, they'll actually just go after the drones, which you know, any bit of help you know, helps in this game, especially toward the later levels, where, believe me, it will get pretty hard. Some of the enemies are pretty damn difficult to beat by yourself. And like I said, you know, like I really like this game. It's definitely you're a lot of times what you'll hear. Oh god, just got thrown. A lot of times that you'll hear about this game is that it's awful. It's one of the worst superhero games of all time. Personally, I don't think it is. Is it mediocre? Hell yeah, it's mediocre. It could have been a lot better. I think it would have been a lot better if it was a 2D side scroller with a little bit more polish. You know, the animation is pretty clunky. It's evident. It's sort of like what you would expect from early PlayStation 2, early. You know, you can definitely tell that this game was made during the time when 3D graphics were just starting. The animation on the characters isn't the best. They look pretty clunky. But, you know, and again, oh, we gotta watch out for this. I have no idea who that is. I'm not too familiar with every. Oh god, he's gonna punch through that wall. Watch. Oh god. There it is. And he's gonna punch through that one. Yep. And all you have to do here is just beat up the enemies. As I was saying, the thing with the drones though is that they're pretty stupid, as you guys see there. A lot of times they'll just run into things. They'll still help, but as you guys see there, they're trying to come towards me, which is great, but not when there's this big Cthulhu creature in the middle, constantly shooting lasers and stuff like that. Ow. And there I go, running right into the middle of the thing. And often, oh god, I just fell. And oftentimes they'll get in your way. They can be pretty annoying. You know, they'll fall into an abyss, especially in the next level. There's a lot of cliffs that they'll fall off of. Sometimes they'll get stuck, especially in moments where you have to take different routes and things like that. Like you'll take one route, and you know they don't. Oh god damn it! And they push me off, just like that. And you know, oh god, see, like right there, he just pushed me off. So again, this game is not perfect in the slightest. It is definitely not perfect. It's definitely not. I wouldn't even consider this to be the best Fantastic Four game of all time. I enjoy the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube games that were based off of the movie a little bit more than this, but this is a beat 'em up, and if you're into beat 'em up the way that I am, then you'll definitely I think you'll find something to enjoy from this game. And as you guys noticed, we didn't have a bonus fight in the middle like we had been before because I died. Again, it's not so much that you have to complete a level without getting hit, it's that you can't lose a life. And yeah, you know, I don't know what else to say about this game. This game is, you know, in my opinion, it is what you make it out to be. I have no idea where I am. Oh, okay. There's health back there. It is what you make it out to be. Again, this is one of those games that I would highly encourage you to play multiplayer. If you have a multi-tap for the PlayStation 1, freaking get some friends. I promise you it'll make this game a lot more enjoyable than it would be if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing by yourself, you're not playing this game right. And you probably won't have a fun time. You probably won't like this game if you're playing by yourself. But again, this is a beat 'em up. It's not meant to be played by yourself. It's sort of like the same problem that the original Final Fight on the Super Nintendo had, where it didn't have multiplayer. So while it was still fun, it was definitely not as fun as the arcade version, and for that reason and that reason alone, because it lacked multiplayer. This game has multiplayer done right, in my opinion. It's one of the few. If I do have something good to say that I don't think anybody would argue against about this game, is that it does the multiplayer aspect right in this game. In that, you know, it was a PlayStation game on the PlayStation 1, and it actually made use of the multi-tap the way that I think, you know, in a very good way. In that you could play this game with 3 of your buddies, and even if you didn't have 3 of your buddies, let's say that it was just you and, I don't know, your little brother or something, and you guys wanted to play this game, but you wanted to feel like it was an arcade game, even though this game was never released in arcades. You can make it, you know, you can make it seem like it was an arcade. You and your little brother or whoever, you and your friend could play. You know, you guys could play the multiplayer game, and you could play 2-player, but then have the drones on, and have it to where it was you, your friend, and then 2 drones playing in the background, so that you can still get the 4-player experience that you would get in an arcade, without having 4 people. So, and without having a multi-tap, which is pretty cool. As you guys see there, the thing got stuck. Like I said, the drone CPU, the AI is definitely not the best, but you know what? It's actually surprisingly well done, in my opinion, for a game that was released at this time. It's not perfect, but it does do a good job, and they do use the superpowers, as you guys see there, which can help a lot in some of these situations. And for a lot of people, you know, for myself, I am a fan of Fantastic Four. I know that Fantastic Four, they're usually not on people's top, you know, Marvel superhero list. I'm getting owned by this guy. As you guys can see there, oh god, I'm probably not gonna win. Get that. I could probably spam this. Aw, damn. And Aw, damn. Alright, too bad. You don't get any. I don't think you get anything or lose anything by winning or losing those mini games. So it's not a big deal if you lose. So yeah, you know, Fantastic Four really isn't on a lot of people's radar. Oh god. By the way, this boss level, this boss is the Mole Man, and he can be rather annoying. The reason for that is because the only way to damage him, he has two sections. The first one, as you guys see here, is oh damn it, is he's on his little ship thingy, and he has a radar here, or he's on a little ship or whatever. And the only way to damage him is if you throw his men at him. That's the only way that you can do it. But because, you know, you never know where he is in relation to yourself, and you don't know... I should probably explain the throwing mechanism. You have 3 throw buttons in this game. You have L1, L2, and then R1. And each one throws the enemy or item or what have you in a different direction. So L1 throws the item, or in this case the henchman. It throws the enemy toward the screen. The L2 button throws the enemy toward the back of the screen. And then R1, as you guys just saw there, hopefully you're able to see that, throws the enemy behind you. So you always have to be vigilant to where the Mole Man is in relation to you, and in relation to where these little grunts are, because you could very well miss, and that's the only way you can damage him, is to throw these little guys at him. But again, it's a little bit harder because you don't know where these guys are. So hopefully you're right there. So that's the only way to damage him. Like I could shoot him all day long, and it won't do anything. So it can get a little bit tedious. It can get a little bit annoying, especially when your freaking partners here, the drones. Now the drones actually are smart enough to actually do this, so they know that you're supposed to throw these guys. Which the first time I played, that was the only reason I beat this game, or not beat this game, but the only reason I beat that was the only reason I beat the Mole Man here, was because of the drones. I barely did anything. It was pretty much all the drones that were doing this, which again, it was pretty fantastic because no pun intended. Because again, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Like I was pretty confused. Like right there, you saw the She-Hulk actually doing that. Like she threw the little whatever monster little man or whatever these things were supposed to be. She threw him right at the Mole Man, and that was pretty much the extent of my gameplay the first time I played this. Like I had no idea you needed to you needed to. Oh god, there it is. Okay, I had no idea that you needed to throw these little guys at the machine before it exploded, and then you could fight the Mole Man on foot and finally finish him off. Like the only way that I knew that I had to do that was from watching the drones. So like I said, the drones actually can be surprisingly useful in this game. You know, they're not just cannon fodder, even though, you know, they can be, and oftentimes oh, I'm about to die. Oh god, I'm about to die. You know what, I can do that too. The drones surprisingly can provide a good experience. You know, they are smart enough to oh damn it. Yeah, I'm about to die. Like I said, Iceman, for whatever reason, is always the toughest one. Or not. Maybe I can do it. He has a lot of the same. I think he, beside that little slide thing that he does, he's pretty much the same character as the Human Torch. Yeah, so now we're going to the Subatomic Nightmare, and this is actually where the game starts to get pretty tough. I'm just going to play for a little bit. I think you guys know more or less what this game is about. But in this level, you definitely get to see you get to see the weakness of the drone CPU, because there's a lot of times there's some places in here where there's some holes, and you guys will get to see the drawback of having drones, as well as you start to see how tough the enemies start to get. As you guys, like right here, we're not supposed to go into the pits there, but sometimes, you know, these guys just blatantly go in there, not even thinking, and they're losing life the entire time. I think Reed Richards is actually in there, or not. And you know, like this game is actually fairly. The graphics aren't that great, but I commend them for at least trying to get some of the, you know, the Fantastic Four charm to it, I guess. I think did Reed Richards just died? No, he didn't. He's right there. You know, they get some of the charm in that they're explorers. They get to go all over the place. Right now, we're in this sort of like alien world. So something that the Fantastic Four can do. And again, what I was trying to say before is that the Fantastic Four, one of the other reasons why I really like this game is that the Fantastic Four they don't really get that much love. You know, they're not many people's favorite superheroes. They're not many people's favorite you know, Marvel superheroes, and they don't actually have a lot of games where they star in, aside from, again, the Fantastic Four movie adaptations, which I also have, and quite frankly, I kind of enjoyed as well, if only because, you know, again, you don't really get to see the Fantastic Four all that much, and when you do, it's games like this where it's, you know, mediocre. They don't get that much attention because for whatever reason, the gameplay just isn't where it's supposed to be or where it can be. The movie tie-in games were also the same way too, in that they were sort of where the hell is Reed? Oh, there he is. You know, the Fantastic Four game, the movie tie-in games were more or less like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. If you like that game, they were pretty much like that, except they're more refined. Obviously, instead of having like a bunch of, you know, 20+ characters to choose from, they only had 4, which meant that their moveset, their individual movesets, were more refined and things like that. And I personally really like that. Actually, this part is pretty crap, like right here. And again, this will show the weakness of the drones. You know, they kind of just walked in there. Thankfully, that you're able to teleport them. But again, it just shows the weakness of the drones. They just blatantly walked into the acid there. They're not supposed to. But again, I kind of wish that more multiplayer games had this feature. Oh god. You know, this is really. Oh god. Okay, there we go. I thought I couldn't get out. I really wish more games had, you know, of this kind had this sort of feature that allowed you to play alongside drones, alongside the CPU. Because again, this is a beat 'em up. Where the hell am I? Oh, there I am. Did I lose? I think I just died. You know, because again, the thing that makes this game fun, and the thing that will make it fun if you ever get your chance to play this game, or you own this game, you know, which if you're a fan of the Fantastic Four, again, I would encourage you to get it. I know that a lot of people say that it's crap, that it's not good. I think that it has enough good things about it that it would warrant a purchase, in my opinion, especially since it's not really that expensive anymore. I bought mine for about $8. And that's actually pretty cheap, considering, you know, this game is pretty fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Again, it's not perfect. I can't say that enough. I know that I sound like a broken record player because I've said that so many times, but really though, don't expect this to be Final Fight. Don't expect this to be Streets of Rage. But just expect this to be an average beat 'em up, but you can still have fun. You know, like average beat 'em ups can still be fun. It's sort of like saying this isn't Call of Duty, but it's still an average first-person shooter. As long as it has some of the core features that makes first-person shooters fun, it can still be fun, even though it's not the most polished thing in the world. This is sort of like the same thing. You know, it doesn't have the best graphics, it doesn't have the best music, even though I must say, and I'll probably post this on my channel, this game does have one of my favorite songs ever from a beat 'em up. And we're not gonna see it unfortunately because I'm about to finish this. You know, I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon. But when you go to the scroll homeworld, the theme song, the background music that plays in it is freaking fantastic. Like, I love it. No pun intended. Just realized that. It's freaking awesome. It's freaking club music. And it's amazing. You would never think that you know, that kind of music could come from this game. You know, a game that a lot of people don't like, but holy crap, it's awesome. So yeah, you know, I would, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a Fantastic Four fan, I still would encourage you to get this game. At least give it a try. You know, there's enough in here. There's enough sort of fan service. You know, you get to see a nice selection of Fantastic Four enemies, including a cameo appearance by, as you guys have already seen, you got a nice little cameo appearance by the Incredible Hulk, Iceman from the Fantastic Four, and you do actually get to oh god, oh what the hell, oh yeah, I forgot, those things in the back suck you in, which is really lame, and you actually get to get a nice little cameo from Namor. It's not huge, but it's a very, very rare appearance by Namor in a video game. Again, Namor being another one of those Marvel properties that doesn't really get a lot of love. As far as my knowledge, he wasn't even in Lego Marvel Superheroes, which is just all kinds of sad, seeing as how, you know, he's a pretty classic Marvel character, and he's never had his own game. Anytime that he stars in any game, he's always either a boss character or just like in the background, not really doing anything. And this is, you know, one of those games where you actually get to see him in video game form. So, huzzah! So I'm gonna finish this level, this section off, guys, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Again, this has been, you know, this is it's a nice combo. This is Fantastic Four for the PlayStation 1. Again, I can't stress enough, if you are a fan of Fantastic Four, if you're a fan of Marvel superheroes in general, or even if you're a fan of beat 'em ups, you know, we didn't really get to see that many beat 'em ups in this day and age when this game came out back in '97 for the PlayStation 1. There wasn't really a lot to choose from, and this game was one of the few beat 'em ups available where you can actually play 4 players at the same time, featuring your friends. So you know, I say give it a try. If you're a fan of the genre, if you're a fan of the property, give it a try. I think there's a lot to like, you know, especially with the superpowers and things like that. A very rare experience, a very rare Fantastic Four experience in video game form. So yeah, give it a try. So anyway, guys, I hope that you like it. Again, I'm going to be posting that theme song from the Squirrel Homeworld, which I think is a very, very awesome theme song. I'm going to be posting that on my YouTube channel. And as always, as you guys see from the right-hand side over there, be sure to go to my YouTube channel at Johnny Crimson 2000. Follow me on Twitter at Johnny Crimson 2K. And what's the other one? My Tumblr blog also, where I put a bunch of stuff, including video game related content, and I post every week my a new theme song from a video game, which I just started to do on my YouTube channel, but I've been doing that on my Tumblr blog ever since I had a Tumblr blog, so go check that out as well. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. This has been Johnny Crimson 2000, and I will see you in my next video. Alright, peace out.